Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach. I recorded this issue based on what I showed in my last episode about some really weird behavior in .NET 9. And I noticed as I was looking through this that even though they don't give the same exceptions and the stack traces look different, they all end up at this bind constructor initializer core continued method in the binder. I just did a random search and it seems like this is also something that has been seen in regression tests with regular expressions on May 31st of this year. And I didn't look, but it looks like it might be, like they build the latest, the latest build. And long story short, it looks like this is a known thing. So that's why I put this here. So this might just be a dupe, but at least it makes me feel good that there's definitely something in the runtime that's not my fault. And that they are also, that this shows that, again, testing is so important because I've already reported this, but they're already aware of it. And I think they're going to have a fix for it. If I followed the PRs and the issues and stuff, that this should be fixed with the next preview 7, I'm guessing. So unfortunately, that does mean that I can't do as much testing with my code generation test app right now. So that makes me feel a little, a little dicey. It's not exactly the greatest feeling in the world. But at least I know that it's not something that's unknown. So hopefully when they do a push and they do another preview version of .NET 9, hopefully that fixes stuff. We'll see. But yeah, it doesn't hold me up. It's just this tool that I have is so good at discovering things that, like the whole putting scoped on params for a read-only span. That tool showed that that's an issue. So I'm sure there's going to be other ones in .NET 9, and I want this tool to run again. So we'll see. Hopefully this comes around as a fix in the very near future. Next thing I want to work on is this. So this is actually removing these attributes and just using rock. I've already done this in the integration test project. Oh, and one other thing I should say is I wanted to do a params read-only span test in my integration tests. What I've discovered is because of the things I'm doing with code generation there around ref structs, it makes the argument a little bit weird to handle. And I just said, since I know the next thing I'm going to work on after this is trying to see if I can improve the support around ref structs by using the allows ref struct anti-constraint, I'm not going to try to do that until then. So in any event, this one, I've already updated all the code in the integration test so that none of it is using these anymore. It's all just rock. But my unit tests all still have these in there, at least most of them. I've actually changed some because of the closed generics thing. And what I've discovered is, and I may have mentioned this in the last episode, but what I've discovered is in this project, if I say rock, so like this, in some of my tests, I've always had like a create version and a make version. Well, now what I can do is just declare this, have two results, both for create and make, and that doesn't make the test longer. It's just because the generated code is long, that's just the way it is. And then I can assert, hey, these two values make it. And instead of having two distinct tests, I can now just do that all in one test, and it's easier than trying to keep both in play and what have you. So, but the point is that this test project is going to break a lot. So this might be a very short episode because what I want to do is remove the attributes, then see this project fail because this isn't going to exist anymore. And then I'm just going to have to manually go in and change them. And I might just do it for this one. And then you'll see I have a create and I probably have a make here. Yeah, there is no make with explicit implementation. Why are oh, that's the one on the list there. Okay. So, but I'll gain another scenario with both create and make. So this is actually going to be nice. But that's code I'm going to change off screen because, again, that's boring to watch in an episode. That's going to be hundreds of tests I need to update, and that's just busy work. I know that the rock attribute and everything works. I just need to now update all these tests. So I'm going to remove the attributes, make sure that integration tests still work, which it should. I'll just see how far I can get in the code generation test, and hopefully I don't run into the issues. But if I do, so be it. And then I'll just see, like, what does it take to fix one of these, and then we'll call it a day. So let's go in here. Enough talk, enough bravado, just get into it. So we have rock create attribute, gone. Rock make attribute, gone. Now this also changes some other things in Rock Analyzer. This is no longer needed anymore. Okay, we don't need that anymore. We don't need this anymore. We don't need analyze attributes anymore. So that goes away. I know that. Okay, so that's good. So an analyzer looks for invalid rock attribute, and then we take that off and say just usage. Boom, that's done. Analyzer, there we go. I notice it's actually starting to do spelling look, trying to tell you when you had, like there, it just put a blue squiggle underneath it. And so now there's a spell thing. I actually am kind of grooving on that. I like that, because you want to make sure your documentation is correct, or just even names in things that you do, it will sometimes flag those or just tell you, hey, maybe you want to change that. Maybe that's not correct. I love stuff like that. Okay, so that is one that we needed to fix. Also in the generator, we no longer need this. Well, that was a little bit too much. Here we go. This one goes away. And now that means all of these go away. And that means all of these go away. We don't have to do that to do anymore. So that's done. Yay, I like that. Cleaning up code, getting rid of stuff. Nice. Okay, so that makes me happy. Let's see if we're missing any other spots where we could be. Nope. All right, so the rocks project is good. Okay. I'm going to shut down, start up again because I removed stuff, and we'll make sure that the integration test project pass. So I'll be right back with the results. Okay, I got to laugh because I forgot something. By removing those attributes, all of a sudden all the generated code that I'm doing would fail. I'm like, wow, this is being really snappy. And then I'm like, why is it so fast now? And I went, oh yeah, I got to change all the generated code. So that's why I'm getting 63,000 errors. I just forgot. So I do have to go in there and fix that. So let's do this. Let's go into here and just show like what I'm going to have to do with all of these, not exceptions, generators. Let's just go to the open generic one that I was talking about before. So now we can just say generate with this. And then we can say rock type of iRequest, build type create. Nope, not a comma. I've already done that one. And that the compiler no likey when you do that, which is not surprising. So then we say here, we rename this to being create. Oops, we want to have the right compilation there. We're going to clear it out because now, actually no, this one we can keep. This really shouldn't change anything because I've already gone through the work of getting rid of all the closed generic stuff. So this is all open. This should not be any different here. So we should have the create here. It's actually good that I just realized that. But we do want a var make generated code, which is going to be equal to that for now. And then we expand that out, do that, grab this, put a comma at the end, do that, make this a make, and then we do that as a make, and then that should be it. Now, this is going to fail because obviously the make stuff isn't correct. And we should see, yep, good. So let's grab that code. This is where I'll do all this while I'm watching like a stream tonight from somebody gaming or something. I don't know, because it's kind of boring and monotonous and tedious to do. So, but this is all the effort I'm putting in for you, the hopeful consumer that's using my library. I'm not, I know I don't get a lot of people using this. Okay, so now we've got the create and the make. We run this. and it passes. So in this case, though, I did not have a make with explicit. Okay. But now I don't have a creator here either. The other one, let's do this one. We have a create here, but we can generalize this all for one now. We can say generate when all that, and then we grab this, and now we come in here and we say build type create, and not comma, or build type make. And then this becomes the create generated version. Okay, but now we're going to go to the make with when constraint. Make when constraint. Okay, so now we're going to just grab this code here, grab that, come up to our generate when constraint type collision exists. We're going to copy that code now into here because we know that works, except we're going to call it make generated code. Okay. And then we just come down here and now we have two results. Okay, so we need to do that, comma, this. This is now make. This is now a make. Run this. And we have a pass. So now make where constraints can go bye-bye because we've already captured it. So this is the work I'm going to have to do now, is just update all this crap and get them all so that they're just using the rock attribute that you see here. Okay. Now, yeah, right. Oh, that's wait, where did I go? Where's the generate? There, that, there you go. And just keep doing that over and over and over again. I don't know if it still has like a hint of how many failed when I ran all these. Let's just do that again real quick to see what my pain is going to be. Because it's going to be a lot. So I say it's about 150. That's my guess. 247. See the thumbs up. Yay. Okay. Let's commit this first and just say 324 removed rock create and rock make. Integration tests pass. Need to update tests and code gen tests. Okay. So let's come into the code generation project and let's just look for where we do rock create. What? You're kidding me. It's got to be in here somewhere. You're full of it. That's not true at all. I know. What is this doing? Find in files, rock create, match case, look in current project. It's not using regular expressions and file types or CS. I don't understand this at all whatsoever. Come on, really? Extensions, that's something else. That's times test generator. This is the one that actually does the generate a code somewhere, right? Oh, that's why. Because of this little crap. Okay, so actually, well, we do want to keep this as, we can do that. Let's do this. Let's say build type, okay? And so now what we're going to do is, I think when you do a enum and you say a toString on it, it just was saying create pipe make, creator make. It didn't have build type creator, build type make, which is what I want. We don't have to have rock here anymore. What I really, really want to do, what's the type definition? Yes, we're always doing open generics. In fact, we can now take this off. We are never doing this. So that goes away like that. That's just a small thing that was a holdover from before, but we don't need to do that anymore. It is always that. It's just, we want it to be build type. Like if the flag is there, we want it to be build type. You know what I could do? Okay, what I could say here is var build types is a new list of string. Okay. If build type has flag of build types, build type create, build type create, then this is probably a very awkward way of doing this, but then we're going to say build types add, build type create. And this could be complete overkill if we have make, and then we do that. Okay. So now what we're going to do here is, since there is no false anymore, this all falls into 1. Okay. But now what we're going to do here is say, get rid of that, type of that, 1, 2, 1, except here, what we're going to do is string.join of a pipe with build types. There. And we can get rid of this now. And Bob's your uncle. Of course, now we broke this because we have build type here and one's doing one, one's doing another. But this way we can say we do a make or a create, or we can say create or make, and then that will show up correctly here with what we expect. I believe. I believe because I believe. Here, okay, we don't do that anymore. We can get rid of that. That's something else. Is create. No, we're just going to pass in build type here. Right? We don't need that anymore. And same thing here. We just say build type. We don't care about that anymore. Okay. All right. So now does this build? Okay. Now let's just, hold our horses here and let's just test with type here. And that's with, this is going to break with the type that we're testing against right now with being StreamWriter, because of the thing I mentioned in a previous recording where it's now read-only span of object, a nullable object, and the name is being incorrect, which I hope to fix when I get around to improving RefStruct support. But I want to see if this at least now builds. Well, it did that. Yeah, and these are the errors I saw before, okay? These are the errors I saw before. So that's good. So I've got that working for me. What I could also do is just, let's take this one and put it here. And let's run it again and let's see what this one does. And that works. Okay, so we fixed that. Okay, give me a moment. I'm going to run all of these now and say test with types. And we'll see if it gets, if it's able to run all the way through or what it does. One thing I want to look at here, test with types, is we get all the target mappings and we come in here and then we say here we want to do a build type of create or a build type of make. So we do these separately, which is fine. We can do that. We could do them all at once, but that's okay the way we're doing it. So let's give it a whirl and let's see what happens. Well, there was an attempt. At least got to this point, and then it just dies again in the binder. Something's core continue, defaulted, just goes bleh, and it dies. So unfortunately we couldn't run all this way, but this was like doing the more typical behavior in terms of how fast it would run. This was a little slower because now it's actually generating all the types and has to compile them and so on. And as you saw here, it's also doing this. So this is far different than what we did before. So I think this one's now updated correctly. So we got that going for us now. We just can't confirm it easily. So now we want to say updated code gen test project. Okay. I could do something that's like, I could try doing these in batches and, like saying, well, let's not run all the NuGet packages for now. Let's just see what happens when we do this. Okay, it's not great, but you can see I'm finding things here. And again, I think these are all because of the weirdness around RefStructs and that they might be nullable and that that's causing all sorts of weird issues happening here. But let me put in a point here to say to do these are all commented out because of this issue. And then I'll grab this Hopefully a fix will be coming in preview 7. Until then, we'll just test the .NET types. There. Okay. It's not perfect. It's not great. I really don't like doing that, but it's at least I'm getting some errors. And if there are other things other than the ref struct nullable naming thing that I mentioned before, if there's other things going on, this will show it. So that's good. So with that, the only thing I got left to do with this task is, well, I could do that too. I could just put that in here right now and say changed. The rock create attribute, the following attributes were removed. Rock create attribute that has a generic rock make attribute and rock make attribute this. You know what's funny is this is going to be 324 is this is going to break benchmark mocknet. I just realized that benchmark. If I go look at the code there for the benchmarks and I just look at like verify, the one for rocks is here. And yes, so I have this here. This is the one thing that's going to have to change. So, but it will break it. So I should remember to well, they would compile the code and then they would say, hey, how do we fix this? But it's in the change notes that we remove those attributes. So that's good. Okay, so we've at least explained, yes, we did obsolete these as a warning. Now these are going away, and that's there. So I will commit that. The next time I commit, I'm also going to change all the tests in the unit test project, which is just going to be a slog. But once that's done, then everything is done. And then I think I'm going to get to that interesting feature with anti-constraints. Thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.